What about Ivory salt?
That's okay. I'll try.
NGOs, institutions, businesses and governments themselves, and we have to have this coalition because this elephant crisis is too big for any one of us. If we're going to succeed to save the elephants, we have to be together, and this is the most amazing demonstration I've seen today. We need to reach out. We need America, we need Europe, we need Africa, and we need the Far East. We need to... We all know that the ivory killing is being driven by the ivory demand. And a lot of the people buying ivory, they're not aware of what's happening. We need to reach out to them, to share our awareness, to show the cruelty and the horror of the ivory trade, what's happening to the elephants. So I am so encouraged to see you here because this is the first stage to stop the killing, to stop the trafficking, and to stop the demand. So thank you all for coming, and please come to the elephants in Africa, see the elephants and share your awareness. Share your awareness with everybody.
On behalf of the Trust, DSWT, the organizers of the International March for Elephants, we wish to thank you all for coming out today so that we might stand together in support of the elephants. Today marks the single largest public gathering of support for a wild animal. We come together to tell the world what is happening to this iconic species and to force our political leaders to take immediate steps to stop killing, stop the trade, and stop the demand for ivory. It is estimated that one elephant is currently being killed every 15 minutes for its tusk, fueled by a global demand for ivory. Demand for ivory that has been further stimulated by two so-called one-off sales of ivory in 1998 and 2008 by the Convention on the International, and so it has his hair on.
Within 10 years, there'll be virtually no elephants left in the wild. It's not just murder. It's actually a genocide that we're experiencing. And we have to treat this as a crisis. This is a crisis, and we need to be extraordinary. We need to do the most unusual things, not just marching in the streets, which is fabulous. Everybody can do something to make a difference and save elephants across Africa.
Necklace, very popular. It's bracelets. Everyone, if you bought a piano, you had to have ivory keys. We tickled the ivories. That was just about 25 years ago. Now, imagine if someone walked up to this group wearing ivory. Right? That's a different world. That world is possible again. But some things need to change. Ask anyone in America to name an organized crime figure. Ask anyone in New York to name a mafia figure. You'll get an answer. We know John Gotti. We know Big Paul Castellano. We know the 5 families here in New York. We know organized crime figures. Ask anybody in America to name an international crime figure, and they can tell you the name Pablo Escobar. They can tell you they can and are terrorists. They can be operating in diamonds and often are. Ivory and animal-related crime is great because the penalty is low and no one's funded well enough to go after it. So that needs to change. You here today are part of that story. This is, in my view, we're all part of an ecosystem. We have some of the most important leaders in elephant conservation. It's a great honor for me to be on the same stage with Iain Douglas Hamilton and Paula Kahumbu and Bill Clark and Patrick Omondi. These are leaders on this issue. I'm a storyteller. I try to tell the stories as I find them. You are part of the community that has to say and is saying, we won't stand for this.
To be in the wild. Again, about Kenya, we outlawed hunting in 1977 because we think hunting is unethical, not good for wildlife. Wildlife have the right to live. Once upon a time, Africa had 1 million elephants. Over 1 million. Iain Douglas Hamilton should tell you, in 1973, early 70s, Africa was flowing with elephants all over the continent, including Northern Africa. Within a period of less than 20 years, this population was reduced by over half, over 50%, to less than 500,000 individuals. And what was the drive? The drive was the ivory, the elephant teeth. So I am humbled to be part of this initiative, to be part of this crowd, this gathering, to say elephant's ivory is not medicine. Humankind can do without ivory. What is ivory used for? Is used for bangles, rubber stamp, necklace. Surely humankind can get an alternative to the ivory.
As well is really so inspiring to us and satisfying. I'm gonna cry right away. Oh dear. You know, this is one of those things where, like, I have the kind of tremendously wonderful life where I'm able to travel and see these things. And as Joey was telling you, in 2009, I did find an elephant with my friends in Kenya, and we were able to send her to the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, where she is living happily today. I'm happy to report. Thank you. Yes, it was very a wonderful experience for me. And when I met Daphne Sheldrick, she said that this elephant was probably a victim of poaching. And I said, poaching? What? I thought this was illegal. I thought this wasn't happening. What are you talking about? That was 2009. And the fact that things have escalated to the point now where elephants will be extinct in 10 to 12 years is horrible. Like, we cannot let this happen. I know you know this, and this is why you're here. But also in 2009, I started learning about it, and I started trying to talk about it. And people would just say, like, what are you talking about? People really were unaware. And so to see you all here, and large reason, you know, Bryan wrote this brilliant article for National Geographic magazine, Blood Ivory. It was a turning point. He's part of the tremendous documentary Fight for the Elephants, another turning point. I mean, people have been working so hard. And to see you all here shows that that work has paid off, and that people are aware, and that people care. And that's so wonderful to know. And everyone who I work with, who's in Nairobi, who's out in Tsavo National Park, taking care of the babies that are growing up, trying to protect them for the elephants, protect them from the poachers, it means so much to them. I get emails from them every day giving me updates. Just recently, 4 of our ex-orphans who are now living in the wild in Tsavo were shot by poachers with poison arrows. It's rampant. It's through the parks. The Kenyan Wildlife Service is on the job every single day, putting their lives in danger. 1,000 park rangers have been killed by poachers. It is a war. And it's something where if the elephants are lost, all of us suffer. It is not all right that the biggest mammal on the planet could be gone, and that we would have to tell our children, oh, you see the pictures of the elephants in the books, well, they're gone. You know, just recently, while you were a child, we just let them be extinguished by horrible, horrible criminals. That is not all right, and that is why we are here. And I'm very, very heartened to see so many young faces in the crowd, because it is your job. You guys are amazing. You can get the word out there. I've been doing fundraising recently on CrowdRise, and let me tell you, the young people mean business. It is exciting. So tell everybody you know, this is a global movement. 15 cities had elephant marches, bigger than we could have ever dreamt of. And also just so important to keep going. This is a fight that we are going to have to fight on many different levels. You heard from Bryan, Christy. It's a law enforcement. It's an awareness factor. Don't buy ivory. Say no to ivory, as our signs say. We need to support the people on the ground. We need to support the Kenyan Wildlife Service. We need to support Save the Elephants. We need to support the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. There are so many people doing such good work and really putting their lives on the line to do this. And we're here and we're able to support them. Anything you give is so appreciated. And even more important, your voices. So raise them up. Keep going.